Hi there. How are you doing? We're going to test this time and this stream at this hour. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. I hope you're doing fine, beautiful people. And I hope that later you can watch the replay and let me know if this time suits you a little bit better for certain updates, not so long. I know some people stream in the afternoons on Sundays, so I don't want to be like kind of in the middle of their streams. But as somebody I know says, we don't own the internet or YouTube, so I'm trying to see if this works for me also. So in the morning, I woke up, but big surprise, no electricity for some time. So I said, well, I think the stream will not happen. So that's why we're here. And I'm still in the middle of evaluating a lot of work, have not finished. But I thought that it was a good idea to have a break and a break with some coloring. So let me just test these. Okay. Hi, View. Welcome. So I'm just saying welcome to this test. Suggested that I couldn't do anything on this cat, and I really wanted to do it. Really wanted to advance a little bit more. The only thing that I did, and it's quite ridiculous, is that I just painted the eyes. Anyway, so that was all I could do for a coloring session. That's so embarrassing. Should be doing more. Should not be so absorbed. But as I asked my students to do some interesting tasks in the writings, some of them were comparing their favorite sports. Some others were talking about their hometown cities and telling me a little bit about the food and some of the things they could do there. So anyway, I was really, really into the writings. Okay. Yes, aren't cats situational kind of thing? And when I mean situational, is they can be comfortable in very, very strange positions. Yeah, one of my cats sleeps under the covers during winter. It doesn't matter if she can breathe or not. She is there. If it's very cold, she is going to find a way to get under the covers. And the other one just stretches as long as he is with his belly up. So you can tell he's happy. Okay, I kind of like the green eyes that I added yesterday. Haven't added the whiskers, but this is starting to bother me that this cat doesn't have whiskers. But I know is the last step. Hi, Paul. How are you doing? Welcome. So, as I said at the very, very beginning, I'm testing this hour for the Sunday stream. The Saturday stream will stay at the same time, around 8, 8:15 Eastern time. Because normally on Saturdays I don't go out, or I go out really, really late in the morning. So it really doesn't affect me. But Sundays, if I want to avoid people at the supermarket and any other places, I needed to really have breakfast early on, and then leave my house at around 9 a.m. So I think it's going to be a little bit more comfy to take this time. I know, for example, that Anne Lar streams sometime around 4, so I'll try not to exceed more than 50 minutes because she's got a lot of audience there. And sometimes I like to watch her. I'm in the background listening to her because she's so fun. Her anecdotes and all the things she says and all the things she prepares is like wow. I've been trying to save and get a big pile of magazines. So maybe one day I will there and start making a collage or whatever, or glue something. I'm so bad at that. I have never attempted a collage since I was in junior high school. So you can tell. You can tell it's been a long time and really a long time. And then in the news, I found in Amazon that the book of the human faces was a little bit on discount, not that much, but enough. So I said, okay, I needed to use my credit card because the one that I have, if you don't use it, you get charged. So I said, okay, I need a new purse because the one that I have is already breaking. I don't have a lot of purses. Like my mom used to have like 20 different purses, so she had like one per day. Now I can just survive with one and I'm good. But it started breaking yesterday, and I was like, oh no, this one is breaking. And I like compact purses, not that big, so I can fit them under my car seat to hide them. And the one I liked was particularly expensive in December, and I was like, okay, I'll wait. So I save it, my card in Amazon, and I got a notification. Hey, one of your items is on discount. So I was like, okay, not really a good excuse to use the credit cards, but anyway, who knows? Thank you, View. I don't know if I'll be good or not at collagen, but I normally don't have a lot of interesting magazines. I normally have, I'm going to show you one. I normally have the HAV ones. So they have a lot of, and this one's already cut. So I think if I attempt collagen, it's going to be really crazy. It's not going to be the awesome creations that Didi does. The one that you got was awesome. I saw it like when I was watching the replay, and I was like, oh my God, she's just so good. And this technique that she has got with the baby wipes and acrylics and things like that, that is so creative, really creative. Ah, yeah, I forgot the name. Yeah, the time traveler. Yeah, definitely. Well, I think my collage will be something about the lady cooking or something because it's, AGV, food, products. So it's going to be looking more like a marketing kind of collage. And I'm not being sponsored. So, anyway. But to be honest, that store is the closest. It's around 8 to 9 miles. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Much glitter. Welcome. And happy Sunday too. Thank you very much. I'm adding more black, different sections. Just having fun with the fur. Okay, nice. Okay, let me see if I can start. I don't know what to do first. Well, I'm going to continue with the chest. Okay. What I need to evaluate are formal letters, and as that was a guided writing that I normally do with that particular group, I just have to check for spelling and grammar mistakes of my students. They're upper intermediate level of English, so some of them are really, really good. I have few cases that are really, really, I don't know what they are doing there, but they're just like 4 or 5 out of 27. So I miss 20 writings right now, which I'm going to finish up when I finish this stream, close to 4 o'clock. Okay. Thank you for sharing channels. Let me do this. Let me do this poll if you want to share. Okay. So Paul, you have a blue wrench if you're still watching. So if you want to share your channel, go ahead. So my rule is that I allow the blue wrench to people who I already know, and that I consider internet friends or friends in the box. Yeah, right. That's what they say. So there you go. Let me pull this up so you can get to see a little bit of the detail that the color can give. Okay, there you are. Thank you, View. Okay, nice. As soon as I can, I will sub to all the channels I get to see in the chat. Thank you very much. And I love coloring animals, and in this year I really want to color more people portraits and have as many different practice with skin tones and things like that, because I think it's fun. I think it's fun to have experimentation, to make mistakes. Last night I was watching Eileen Vick, and she is coloring the face of an old man, and he's surrounded by the American flag, and the image is just so striking. And when she did the zoom out, it was like, wow, it looks amazing. Sometimes I get lost when she really zooms in to see the detail, and I get lost. And I really like when she zooms out and you get to see that little bit of pencil or something was really, really good. But apart from showing you this, I want to show you a little bit on the boxes. But I was kind of questioning which colors could be good. So I'm going to pull this down a little bit. I think I'm going to do this so I can easily manipulate this. So I have already kind of a magenta, kind of a yellow, lime one. These are the Darwin Inktense. I have seen a lot of videos using the colors, especially these colors, in different ways. And the only thing that I will not recommend is what I did here. That is using your brush to just get the color. You can affect the wood. So that's not a good idea. Or dip it in a glass of water or something. If you're going to, let me sharpen this one a little bit. If you're going to do that, if you're going to take some color from the tip, it's much better to do this. Grab a masking tape, clear, white, cream, much better. Draw on top of this and activate it. Activate it with water. You will keep the wood safe, you will keep the wood case safe, and you can really add the pigmentation that you need. This is much better. And this is a color, a green color, that I had for more than a week. It's been here. And I can use this corner. Wait, let me move this. Okay. So this will reactivate. It doesn't matter how long it sits there. So these colors are way too good and way too expensive to just spoil the wood case, right? Not that you don't have excuses to buy one. I got the 72 set, and like 1 year later, they got the 100 set out. And I was like, oh, well, bad luck. But it's okay because I have not used that 72 set that much. So I really don't miss those colors to a big extent, you know. Okay. So we're going to turn this a little bit upside down. And this is another way that I like to use very, very light pressure on top of your paper. These very smooth textures are much better. Not that I don't like the texture paper like watercolor. These are, of course, perfect for watercolor paper. But as you can produce a little bit of texture with the pencil here, it's going to look a little bit like a scratched box or something like that. But it is. This is red oxide. So I'm going to use it a little bit for this bit of the box. A little bit darker. And sometimes when this is too wet, let me pull it up. When your Derwent is not that dry, you can leave it like that, and you don't need to activate it. That's another way to do it, but I don't like it that much. I prefer to activate all the color, and if I'm going to intensify the color effect, then I better use a wax color on top of that, or I don't know, maybe I have not tried acrylic markers on top of Inktense because I think they will be too much and they will cover the effect of the Inktense. But anyway, we can try. And they are, yeah, they sell these as permanent inks, but I'll say they are semi-permanent because you can still move them if you are using certain surfaces. If a surface is very, very toothy, like cold press paper or something like that, yeah, it will go deep on the paper and you won't be able to move it so much. but for some other parts you will. Okay, we have to let this dry, but we can go down this corner. I think I was using this green. I made a mistake of not making a list of my colors and separate them. The only thing about these books is that the image goes right into the spine, so sometimes it's difficult to color, and sometimes you cannot hold your pencil as you wish. But then you can find techniques to kind of give you some support with your pinky, and then just use the other 3 fingers to kind of create a texture. It's just practice. But after some time, this position hurts, so don't abuse from that. It's always a good idea to, if it's a small section, yeah, get all your hand on top of the book. You can protect it with paper towel. And I think I have mentioned this before, take breaks. If your plan is to color all day, do 45-15. So 45 minutes of coloring and move your hand in different positions, and then 15 minutes doing something else. So you can rest your wrists, your fingers, your shoulders. Sometimes we don't really notice how much we use our muscles from the elbow up, but they are used. We stabilize a lot of things with those muscles. Okay. So I don't want really that much color here, just bits of random texture. And I think I also have magenta that I was using with my other cat, the one that is the creepy cat. So let me get a little bit. Oh yes, View, I know. I hope you're doing better, much better. I know that you're in the road of recovery and rehabilitation, and sometimes it's hard. The exercises are hard to do, and they hurt, but they do help. I hated to do rehabilitation when I had a sprain. That was a long time ago, like 30 or 35 years ago. And it was almost a fracture. Almost. It was very, very close for it to be fractured. And when I started doing rehabilitation, I really, really hated that. Because first I had to go with hot and cold intervals of rehabilitation. So I remember that I went to this place and they gave me a hot kind of towel or bandage, and it was around my ankle. And then rest a little bit, and then put your foot into cold water. That was so awful. And then some other days it was walking, moving. A fun exercise, but it hurt. It hurt a lot in those times. They gave me big marbles, and I had to use my toes to try and grab them. And at the beginning, I didn't understand why, But then the physiotherapist told me this is to make sure that all the muscles and all the nerves, whatever, are working properly, and that later you will be able to walk without any limping or something, or that you are probably going to have this injury again. And I was like, cool. And yeah, it worked. But of course, I've, I've decided not to wear high heels or big platform, for sure, because I was afraid my ankle would twist again. And then, believe it or not, some years after I recovered, I injured my ankle again, getting off a bus. I miscalculated the height and I landed on my foot and it twisted again. Oh my God. And I was far away from my house. I didn't have a car. I gave my class sitting down because it was a Saturday class. And then my coordinator in those times told me, don't worry, I'll take you home because you cannot walk in those conditions. Whew, that was really, really, really good that she helped me. And I didn't go back to work because it was my last day. They were closing the school, so that Saturday was the last day of all the schools. So it was our farewell class day. So I was able to rest for almost 3 weeks with therapy again, of course. And then after that, that was in 2001. Yeah, 2001. And it was May, probably the end of May. In July, I started a new job. I was able to go to the job interview. Yeah. Yeah, I was able to rest, and luckily, nothing wrong has happened since then. So, and now I try to wear very comfortable shoes and try to avoid high heels if possible. It's not really worth it sometimes. Yeah. Oh, you had a surgery. Oh my gosh. I imagine that is really, really painful. I don't know what is worse, to lose a little bit of your mobility or to lose the mobility of your hands. I mean, both are important, but I don't know. One of the secretaries in one of my jobs had this tunnel kind of illness. I don't remember the name, not even in Spanish. And she had a surgery. And it was so difficult for her to recover. And she didn't get a lot of days of rest. She had to go back to the office and use the computer again. And then, it's terrible because when you move your hands to type, no. That's why I hate typing that much. I also prefer my students to give me some of their tasks by hand. Of course, the penmanship is terrible, and we cannot talk about the horrors in spelling. Well, if they have spelling mistakes in Spanish, what can I expect in English, right? So anyway, yeah, I have a student who is in a very, very basic level of English right now with me. and he's already having a job as an assistant. And I saw his writing, and he spelled the majority of the words in with a Spanish spelling, not English spelling. But some words are not that different, you know. Words like conclusion, decision, and things like that are just slightly different in Spanish. No, no, no. When I saw the spelling, I was like, oh my God, I cannot imagine his Spanish spelling. I suppose he's using autocorrect in Spanish all the time. But the day he gives a note to his secretary is going to be awful. So it's handwritten. No, 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 no. Sometimes these kids don't get how important it is to spell things correctly, right? They don't get it. But well, what can we say? Oh, I didn't notice that I stained this one. But this cat will be eventually painted. I think you mentioned, View, that this cat was a tutorial or something that Didi colored some time ago. So eliminated a little bit of this. This paper is not good for a lot of water. That's what I have discovered. But it's good for acrylics. That's why I don't use that much of water with these colors. But look at these. On camera, this one looks a little bit more bluish, but in real life, it's a little bit red, right? More magenta than blue. But there you go. Nice. So this page, I like how this one is going. Okay. Well, it's part of my job here. I need to pay attention to a lot of things when you're an educator, when you're a teacher, and you have 27 something, 30 students. You have to be paying attention to everything: body language, what they say, um, just to see if you can spot something that you are not doing correctly, so you can change, do something different. Especially right now that we are coming close to evaluation week. So the students that I have now are going to evaluate me. And they are going to be very cruel, yes, I know. But their writings are terrible. And I cannot really allow them to go to a higher level of English if they cannot write properly. Sorry. It's their prestige as students and university, right? Okay. Oh yeah, sometimes I confuse the authors or especially figures. I'm not good with remembering figures. I need this one to be a little bit drier. It's still cold to touch. Yeah, that's right. They really cannot tell um, how important English or another language is going to be for them in the future. I have students who come in first semester and they, in their introductions, they say that they want to work in Europe and something like that. And I'm like, okay, cutie, are you aware that the students in Europe already speak 2 or 3 languages and they have first row in jobs? They're going to have very tough competition. It doesn't matter how powerful your family is here in Mexico, outside is different. And then I was evaluating some of the letters that I have today. Remember, I told you I had formal letters. And one of the options was an application letter because they are going to do that in the future for sure. And I discovered that one of my students is the brother of a very, very famous influencer, Mexican influencer, chef, that I follow him on Instagram because another teacher told me, this student, he was from the Anahuac and he has already graduated. I was like, cool. Yeah, he's quite a celebrity according to his Instagram. And now I have his brother, but his brother is not very good at English. So if he wants to match the success of his brother, he needs to polish his English skills. I think his brother is in Dubai working um, with royalty. Yeah, those countries are made for men, not for women. But we are not going to get into that cultural thing. But I'm glad for him. I'm really glad for him. For him and the brother, that is working in Dubai. This is not the only case that I know. Another friend, he was a close friend, and his son is a pilot and he's working for Emirates and he's based in Dubai. And what I like about that is that my friend is suffering right now from the early stages of Parkinson, and his son is really, really working hard to try to have him flown there and receive treatment. So they are just working the details on how they can do that. And his son is not yet a pilot. You know that they have these kind of things in their shirts to indicate who is a co-pilot, a pilot, and he's a trainee, but he's already flying domestic in that area. So hopefully my friend will be able to get the treatment that he deserves. Okay. So look at this cutie. I like it. I wish I could stay here hours and color. But duties. But I'm going to try and finish in this 20 minutes that I have a little bit of the hair here. Now, something that I don't like here, and I'm going to test this, is I haven't been able to get a good eraser, The eraser that I want is never on sale on Amazon. So it's always very, very expensive. So I just have it on my list, not my wish list, but I just have it on my list so I can move it back and forth to my cart. But it's not getting a discount. So that's terrible. Thank you, Bew. Thank you very much. Yeah, I really hope that he gets his treatment, because his son is also a favorite of the royalty in there. He's studying with one of the sons, a prince. that wants to be also a pilot, and they became very, very good friends. That's what my friend tells me. So I hope he can really be treated soon. I don't know if this set, let me check. I haven't used much of this set, and this is my working set. But I don't think I have good. No, I don't have grays here. I only have umber, brown, black, silver, and gold. But these two colors are also good for fur. The metallic gold and the silver, they are good. Of course, not in exaggeration, but they're good for. So I don't have a lot of grays, that's why I'm using this other set of grays. And here where I live, there are no stores selling Prismacolor individually. They only sell them with the complete sets, and I don't want a bigger set than that. Definitely not. That's why I'm also trying to use a lot of the Starjoys. I have a backup set, so I can really finish these colors if I wanted to. And if I need to buy a Prismacolor set again for coloring books, I'll go for the Junior, definitely. They're really, really good for coloring books. I hardly ever use Polychromos or Goldfaber. I think those are for much better artist work. You know, especially if you're going to sell a commission or something, then yeah, go for the Polychromos. Or if you're coloring a page for a friend and you can detach the page, and that friend is going to frame this coloring page as decoration, then yes, go and use something that is light fast. But if your coloring pages are going to stay here, then there's no need for that. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Glitter. Thank you very much. Yeah, we have to do a little bit of adulting, right? Yeah. In my case, I have to do teaching. So take care and thank you for coming. I won't be long for so much time. Don't worry. I don't want to invade certain streams. And while I listen to Anne in the background, I'm going to finish evaluating my writing tasks. And I will also go and pick up my laundry because today it was a beautiful sunny day. So all my clothes sun dried. There you go. So this is almost there. You'll probably see later on that we'll adjust the fur as we adjust the rest of the colors. One of my neighbors is having a barbecue. I can get to smell the meat that they're about to put on the grill. Oh yes. Yes, yes, yes. We use one softener here that is a Mexican brand, and it's really good for the environment. The brand is Charisma. It's similar to English. The only thing that we have is the H that is there. And, oh yeah, carne asada. Imagine, with onions and some spicy sausages. Oh well. But let's go back to the aroma of the clothes. So that one combined with the sun, you're folding the clothes and you get the smell, and I love it. I need to go to the store where I get that one and get my stash. I normally buy 2 bottles because it's very cheap also. Each bottle it's like $3, like 1 liter. Well, yeah, 1 liter and a half. Yeah, I'm not sure how much that is in ounces, but it's like a 30. It's like one. Let me see, like 1 foot tall bottle, more or less, and for less than $3, I think, or around $3. Good. And I just need like a small little bit, so it really lasts a lot. And I found the soap. I thought it was just a softener, but no, I found the soap. So now I combine both, and now the smell is even much better. But yeah, I don't like doing the laundry that much. The good thing is that the machine I have is automatic, so I don't have to do the transition of changing and drying, and the clothes when the machine finishes, they are almost dry, so it really doesn't take more than 2 or 3 hours in the sun. Only when it rains, it's when I suffer. When it rains here, it pours. So rain season here is harsh. But I don't want to buy a dryer. I don't have space, number one. It will have to be in the middle of the kitchen, and that won't look good. And then number two, gas. Natural gas is expensive. It's very expensive here. So no, definitely not. I prefer the sun. And my mom also preferred the sun. My dad offered a lot of times, hey, let's get these combos now of washing, dryer. And my mother was like, no, 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 I like my washing machine. So, and the sun here is really, really nice, good. It's been so hot this week that a lot of people are using the pool already. I'm waiting till March. March is going to be very, very hot here. We're going to be over 80. What's the temperature right now? Oh, this is where we are. We're in 78 with a minimum of 44. Let me just check because I'm not good at Fahrenheit. Oh, yeah, it's hot enough. 26 centigrades. Going back to Fahrenheit for the international audience. There you go. So it's quite hot, eh? Downtown. This is downtown. I'm in the outskirts, so that's why it's the variation. But March is going to be even hotter than this. And the bad thing is that we don't have like a coast or a beach area to go and get water. The only thing that we have is the pool. I'm not so far away from the pool, that's good. But still, you get in the car and you literally suffer when you're driving. You can have the air conditioning in your house or the car and still not enough. But we have learned to cope. Luckily, my university doesn't have a very strict dress code. So during the summer, you can wear sandals and you can wear very light fabrics. Some other universities ask for suits and trousers or complete, like a uniform or something. And no, 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 that's something that it's really, really terrible. Hi, Thunder. How are you doing? Welcome, coming in. We're playing with this cat and the boxes. I don't have my browns here, but that's a good excuse to find my browns. Okay. Oops. They're hard to get, but here they are. So I'm going to use the Premiere for the box here. We're going to be using these two from the working set. The Sienna Brown, the Burnt Ochre, and the Light Umber. There we go. And let me just do something here before. Okay, there we go. Okay, nice. Yeah, let's start with some scribbling here. I know a lot of people who just stay with Prismacolors all their life, and they are missing the chance to experiment with different colors now, with what I called hardness of the lead. And when you experiment with different colors, not only the prismas, you learn which colors are good for certain texture effects that you want to give. So don't stay with one brand. Go and play with everything you have available, because that's the fun. And I think I mentioned yesterday that I recommend people to go and watch Cat and Paste last video on how to use your material. And do not, I don't know if it was last video or the previous one, but use your coloring books. If you're not using them, give them away or sell them to somebody who will certainly use them. But most importantly, enjoy the material that you have, right? And use it. Yeah, I haven't been able to watch replays. So sorry, guys. I haven't done this one. This is also Inktense. Yeah, and you're a moderator too, Thunder. So anytime you want to share something, you're welcome. Here, remember, the philosophy of this channel is not to have memberships, not to have Patreon, not to have any of those, because we already have a lot of problems with influencers monetizing and destroying some of the dearest hobbies that we have. I followed the girl that you mentioned, View, from India. In Spanish, we pronounce her name Indira. We don't give the word a particular stress. And it was very interesting to see that, I don't know if it was her last short, or video. Um, she says, "Oh, in a world dominated by markers, by alcohol markers, I'm using my colors." And I was like, of course, alcohol markers are not the ultimate coloring tool. On the contrary, they are expensive, they run out so fast. It's more enjoyable to use other material. I'm going to have a very, very hard week next week, but certainly I'm going to be streaming on Saturday. And after that week, the first week of March, we have midterm exams, but our exam is online, it's automatic, so it's not going to represent any effort for me. So I'm planning that week of March to take out my Kuretake Gambi and start using the Chinese book. I have already practiced a little bit with watercolors and with the Inktense. I think the Inktense are, I think those are going to be fantastic for those books. So I need to take out my full set because normally what I have here, it's, well, I initially bought the 12 color set. And I fell so much in love that later I bought the 72 set. And here, what I did is that I got rid of the plastic tray. And this is my working set with my favorite colors from the 12 and the 72 set. But if I'm going to use the Chinese book, I'm going to be combining Kuretake and Inktense. And I think it's going to look really nice. Oh, this is still wet. Okay, but this box can start giving this one a little bit of color. Okay, we're getting close to 4 o'clock. I think Anne is going to be streaming at around 4. And I have to go pick up my laundry as well, fold all my clothes, try to finish my 20 writings. And I'll say try because I still have the chance to do that tomorrow morning. And at the office, I'm going to have like 6 hours. I don't have classes tomorrow. I just have to be there 6 hours. So I'm going to use most of my 6 hours there. Yes, that's right. But normally I don't record my practices view because what if I make a mistake? Later I can tell you, don't do this because this happens. And then I can show you the mistake. But then it's still a little bit embarrassing to have a mistake live. Unless you're Didi. Do you remember? I think you were. You were in that live when she was with Denise. And she was showing this image. And suddenly she poked. It was a watercolor or something. And it was live on camera, and everybody laughed so much about it. So, unless you're Didi and you have her beautiful character and you can laugh at everything, then you can make a mistake live. But I don't know. I don't think I'll be that cool. I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I did this, don't do this. So I'll be excessively apologizing, and that's not the idea. Eventually I will. I mean, I don't have problem standing in front of my students and sometimes making a mistake or making them laugh. But that's because I really want them to feel motivated to learn the language and feel like the teacher is a little bit goofy, so the language is not that scary for them. But this is something that I supposedly studied for a long time, and I've been doing this for a long time. But anyway, So today I just stay with this cat and we didn't do anything with the other cat. But next Saturday, I hope I can see you. I can see you here and join me at around 8 or 8:15 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to leave this kitty here. I'll try to finish this bit of the fur today. And then next Saturday, we'll work with the other cat because I want to finish these two cats before I actually start something else. If not, I'm going to have a lot of projects that are going to be unfinished. And no, that's not a good idea. That's not my goal. I need to go and look for all the unfinished projects that I have in my coloring books and finish them. So that's what we're going to be doing. So thank you very much for coming, and I'll see you around. Take care and have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday evening or afternoon. Thank you. Bye bye.